voted by the legislature specifically allows use variances. So the Great and General Court in Boston has spoken and has recognized the attractiveness, if you will, and the utility of use variances in certain circumstances. But the statute sets out a very stringent test for use variances. And word for word, that test is adopted in our bylaw. So when we adopted our bylaw, 906.3 of the variances, we enacted the very language that the legislature had put in the enabling statute. And it says that this is one of the powers of the ZBA. To grant upon appeal or upon petition with respect to particular land or structures, a variance, including a use variance, this is our bylaw, from the terms of the bylaw where the Board of Appeals specifically finds, and this is the test that's almost impossible to meet, as Mr. Lambert will tell you, that owing to the circumstances relating to the soil conditions, shape, or topography of such land or structures, and especially affecting such land or structures, but not affecting generally the zoning district in which it is located, a literal enforcement of the provisions of this bylaw would involve substantial hardship, financial or otherwise, to the petitioner or appellant, and that desirable relief may be granted without substantial detriment to the public good and without nullifying or substantially derogating from the intent or purpose of the bylaw. Now, if that's not a tall hurdle to mount, I don't know what is. And Mr. Lambert will tell you I sat on a zoning board in another town, and I will tell you, and anyone that sat on our ZBA will tell you, that it is a very, very heavy burden for an applicant to get any kind of a variance, and it's particularly a very heavy burden to get a use variance. The point is that there is no need to eliminate this permission, discretionary as it is, when we are neither overwhelmed by use variances requests, nor do we have a history of giving them. So unlike the previous argument about double density, where there seems to be a great factual controversy as to whether it exists or not, I think Mr. Lambert will tell you that in the 10 years he was on the board, he never even saw an application for a use variance. Okay, that raises two arguments. If people don't apply for them, why do you need the test? But the better answer is, the legislature has recognized not their need, but recognized that there may be the exceptional circumstance. Our town meeting, by adopting a bylaw, has recognized that there may be the exceptional circumstance, and there's no current present harm that has befallen the town through the language as it includes in this bylaw. So my point is, unless some compelling argument can be made to further restrict people's potential use of their land, leave it in there. It hurts no one.
George?